This is the Milky Way galaxy. It's one of 200 billion galaxies in the cosmos. And this is the blue planet upon which we live. Now, if I move this blue planet out 400 yards, I'd say, "Can you see me now?" And you'd say, "Yeah, you're a speck." And if I moved it all the way to Chicago from here in Colorado, and I'd say, "Can you see me now?" and I waved it at the camera, you wouldn't be able to see me. So if anything can shrink narcissism, it ought to be astronomy. But then again I say that anything can be used for anything. And I ran into this book, and I have to admit it scared me. It's written by two professors at the University of Washington in Seattle. And I thought, oh my goodness, these guys are going to say we are the only intelligent life in the universe. And they do say that, explain why the Earth hits the right thing. We go around a small sun. We're the right distance of the sun. We had plate tectonics operating on the Earth that gave us the mountains, gave us the Urals, the Appalachians, the Rockies, mountains all over the world as these crusts ran into each other and jammed up the mountain. And they said we have the right amount of carbon. We were hit by the right number of comets and comets that have our solid ice, which gave us the oceans. We have the evolution of oxygen. We have the atmosphere. And I think, oh my gosh, these guys are going to say, we are really special. We are great. You know, and I thought, oh my goodness. But then as I read through the book carefully, and they are decent writers, they say they believe that bacteria and Archaean small one-cell organisms are replete throughout the cosmos, and they talk about extremophiles, these volcanoes in the ocean that eventually built Hawaii, for instance. And these volcanoes, they know that these organisms live inside them at incredibly hot temperatures. And there have also been studies that show there are bacteria and Archaean forms deep in the earth, in salty swamps, real icy conditions. So they say, yes, bacteria is throughout the universe. I'm relieved. And then he said, intelligent life, however, would be very rare in the universe. Oh my goodness, here comes narcissism all over again. But then they go ahead and say that intelligent life and animals could be throughout the cosmos. Now they don't do this mathematically. They don't say 200 billion galaxies times 300 billion stars and so many planets can be there. They didn't bother with that. They are astrophysicists and a geologist. But sure, there could be intelligent life, but as I said when I talked about SETI, that's irrelevant because of the speed of light. We will not encounter aliens. We are alone, and that aloneness is a good thing. But astronomy provides a magnificent story, and it's half of the story that I think should motivate us in terms of our values. The other half is Darwin Explosion in terms of biology, when he explained how we all went back to one mother organism, one organism, whether or not we're mushrooms or trees or bushes or birds or animals in the woods or human beings. We have a common ancestor. And that was, his book was written in 1859. Now we have over 150 years of people trying to refute it, and thousands of scientists keep saying that is true. So we are not only the children of the stars from these supernovas that exploded, we are also biologically the children of every organism on the earth, and we are related. The combination of those two stories is magnificent. And when you search for values, what is worth doing, what is worth living and dying for, what will you use your energy for, and you see that the Axial Age religions are dying, and people are all over the earth are confused. They're changed by consumerism, they're changed by cell phones, they're changed by tablets and phablets, and who knows, the electronic inventions that will come forth each year. And people are confused. And they need a story, the guiding myth that will transform their values, and so they know who they are and they know what they can do. Now, as I come near the end of all these chats, this is the next to last one, I want to say to my grandchildren and children, great-grandchildren, to Nathan and Jason and Tyler and Kevin, to Mackenzie and Savannah, listen to this story of astronomy. Listen to this story of biology. It's the greatest story ever conceived on the planet Earth. And it's a story that brings us together so that no human is an alien. No person is worthy of receiving an atom bomb and or a hydrogen bomb and killing hundreds of thousands of people. The nuclear holocaust could kill everyone on Earth. In one of the past one of the past chats, I mentioned 8 cities that could be destroyed in America. But I guarantee you there are 1,000 hydrogen bombs aimed in our direction from Russia, China, North Korea for 3, and it could destroy all the life here. And we, in response, both from silos with missiles in this country, in North Dakota and Montana, we could destroy other entire countries. And the result would be nuclear winter, and it could destroy life on this planet. And there are many ways that life can be destroyed, with viruses, with chemicals, and with the use of various gases, deadly gases. But we have the greatest story in the world, and we need to honor that story, and we need to work for other people. I try and phrase this with the power that I want to, and then I have to turn to the poets. Here is one by William Blake, who died in 1827, way before the astronomical revolution, before the biological revolution. But he was a person who knew the beauty of nature and the beauty of people. He wrote this little poem called Heaven in a Wildflower. To see a world in a grain of sand, and heaven in a wildflower, to hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an hour. He who binds himself to a joy does the winged life destroy. He who kisses the joy as it flies lives in eternity's sunrise. And it is very true though he didn't know it, that when you pick up sand, or you pick up a wildflower, or you see a bird fly, you are participating in a magnificent story of how we are all children of the stars, how stardust forms our bodies, and how mitochondria, DNA, and every one of our cells, the little bacteria, gives us energy. And this is a grand story, and we need to protect life. So I say to my grandchildren and any viewer, anytime you help something in nature, whether it's an endangered species or anything, whether you're careful in growing corn for food for the people of the world, or whether you're a nurse in a hospital or a Doctors Without Border, whenever you are giving and helping and loving and not living in narcissism, that beast, what did he call it? The winged life destroy. It destroys us, this narcissism, so I appeal to everyone, my children and grandchildren, to listen to the greatest story ever told and let that affect the values of your daily life. Thank you for watching.